Have been some long time, friends. A part's here, and let's see how it continues. The World Legacy History. Alan and the others continued to battle. All of a sudden, an explosion occurred inside the facility. Immediately, Alden felt as if the world chalice awakened again, so the feeling was now greatly intensified. Everyone in the battlefield stopped fighting, transfixed at that moment. Just then, a figure appeared. She was standing on the mountain of the debris before them. It was the visage of Ivy, unmistakably from head to toe. But her face betrayed something sinister. Her eyes glowed mysteriously, and an evil aura emanated from her body. These signs suggested that the figure before them was not the Ivy they knew. Her laughter was nothing like that of Ivy. She now spoke to the confused group. I am Lee. This body is now mine. So time Ivy was no longer here. The feminine resonance of her voice was now poisoned with a booming dissonance. Alan and the others glared at her with confusion and anger. Meeting their gaze, Nightmare co-opter Ibili emanated a force field. The force field now forcefully absorbed the power of the World Chalice with Alden and the others, and now it threatened to take their lives. However, it would be the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme who would be fighting to the death just moments before, who would rescue them. Throwing itself at them, the power of Ibili was so great it caused the form of the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme to become unjoined. Separated in seven, the Mech Knights were severed damaged. Then Ibili, with a familiar hand, proceeded to stack the core from each of the Mech Knights one by one. It was now clear there was a great danger in Ibili possessing both the power of Ibi as well that of the ritual wind. Seeking to prevent this, the Mech Knight Blue Sky sought to transfer control of the wind to someone other than Ibi. Showing considerate growth in battle, Alan was the one chosen as the one successor. Ibili powers created a shockwave that launched Alan to the edge of the cliff. The Mech Knight Blue Sky stretched out its arm to help him. Wordless, their gaze met. Alan sensed in his heart that the knight was trying to convey something when a dazzling light shone suddenly. The next moment, Alan, adorned in new armor, not of the World Chalice, and hold a sword in each hand, he stood at the edge of the cliff. As Mad Knight Arvilan, successor to the ritual wind. World Legacy Succession. Monster in your graveyard, special summon to your zone your link monster points to. Yes. Once sounded by Ivy, the ritual wind was passed down to generations in the village of the Forest of the Stars. It was the key to the fate of the stars, and held the power to lock the world legacies. In a split-second decision, Aulan had been chosen to succeed the wind, not, the, not by the wind counters Ivy, but by the Mech Knights. Then the succession of decay was split in two, just like its password was. Knowing Ivy has inside of her, it still possesses decay's power. Ivy set off to gain possession of the world's lens before Aulan could reach it. He did. Aulan chased after her, determined to stop her. However, in his path stood the nightmare beasts, born from the power contained in the cores that Iblis stole from the Mech Knights. Aulan, having just received his new powers, had to contend with the formidable strength of the six nightmare beasts. Now, Ningirsu, who rushed to Aulan's side along with Induk, said to him, "We'll hold them back. You, go ahead." His voice was quiet but resolute. Having lost the power of the word Chalice, Ningirsu knew he would be powerless to stop Hybrid, even if he could catch her. Without waiting for Aulan's reply, Ningirsu leaped out, facing the beasts, spear in hand. So with nearly powerless, Ningirsu still deftly handled his spear as if possessed. As the Nightmare Mage was crushed, the beasts all turned their heads toward the spear wielder in unison. He must have wanted to pursue his little sister more than anybody else. Alden took off to pursue Ibidi and the Wordlands, with the determination of Ningirsu as the wind in his sails. Left alone, Ningirsu continued to fight by himself, his horse echoing to the battlefield. Check this out. Well, thanks for listening. Platinum's out.